live. Yes, folks, live on a Monday morning. And I want to welcome you all to the studio. And you'll notice that I am not on the front porch. No, no, no. The front porch is for days where the heat is relatively reasonable. And I'm here to say the heat today is unreasonable, number one. And number two, well, I'm here to say that we are really trying to watch where we are doing these productions at. I'm experimenting. And hey, today you're right from my YouTube studio. Yes, folks, for the Economic Report. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're joining me. Excuse me while I take a sip of my coffee. All right, my first sip of coffee today is already 10 a.m. and I'm usually an early morning drinker. And the fact is that my days usually start off really about an hour or two earlier than this. But, well, there's some busy things going on around the house. And so I just want to welcome you for being here and, of course, experimenting with me on this new studio. And, folks, if you like the studio, give me a thumbs up because I do need to hear that. I will ask you later on in the show what your thoughts are about the studio. I'm tinkering around some of the lighting in the back here. And of course, all good stuff. All right. So it just turned 10 a.m. and I've been trying to show up as consistently as possible at 10 a.m. for my lives. And today's subject, hey, folks, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, right? Every time we think things are a little bit slow, the news cycle picks up. And, of course, what are they reporting? Well, they're reporting real events like Iran, which is going to be something we cover today. Also, another news cycle we're covering, of course, is the U.S. response to Iran. And then with that, obviously, things that are affecting people just like you and I right here on Main Street. So I want to welcome you aboard. This is the Economic Report, and I am Brian, and I want to welcome you to my basement studio. And with that, you're taking a look and saying, well, it's kind of an interesting studio. You'll notice I've got some setup here, and this is what I use for the Economic Report. And now here we are, live. Yes, I did say live once again on a Monday morning at 10 a.m. And I'll see, I've got 4 of you here. Welcome. This is Brian at the Economic Report. And today you're getting news right from my studio in the basement live. Yes, you'll notice that I have some different setups here. Maybe I'll tilt this just a little bit so you fine folks can see the now showing sign. Maybe that's even a better angle there so you get to see a little bit more depth inside of the studio. And of course, what we're on about. And hey, folks, I respond to every single comment that is in chat. So fire away. Today, we're talking about Iran. Well, the United States involvement in Iran, and then some of the other players, for instance, like Israel. Dylan, good morning to you. How are you today, Dylan Jones? Great to see you. Glad you're here. And of course, with that, you'll notice I've got my studio here. And of course, this is this thing that I work, Dylan, every day is a good day, pal. That's kind of my attitude, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Every day is a good day because what you make out of it, pal. So I will stick with that story. Yes, just a little bit of coffee here. Dylan, if you want to drop your zip code or you want to go ahead and leave a flag if you're from a different country, I'd love to hear from you. And of course, all that I ask you folks, fine folks, for is a like, a subscribe. Go ahead, fire away your comments in the chat section because, you know, today we're talking Iran, Israel, the United States, and yes, the Trump card, if you will, the relationship with China. Dylan Jones from the good old US of A. God bless America, Dylan. We need it, pal. And of course, coming up on our 249th birthday, can you believe it? 1776, we signed the Declaration of Independence. And of course, we put in motion what eventually became the United States of America. And 249 years. Welcome. Once again, drop your comments in chat. I respond to every single one. Hit like and hit subscribe. We're shooting for over 200, and I think this episode right here is going to put you over 200. I'm curious who's watching today that will be the 200th member of this channel. I'd love to have you. And of course, Who will be 201? That's a lucky number. How about 203, 205, 210? You get the number. Be one of those lucky numbers. And of course, we will be going ahead and sending you out daily live video casts about the economic report. Oh, dude, you are amazing, Dylan. Thank you for subscribing. You are probably like 199, is my guess, maybe 200. I don't know what it is, but a huge shout out to Dylan. Thank you very much for subscribing. You will get an everyday update for my videos about news in the news cycle, and I'm glad that you are part of this, Dylan. Thank you. Here's a cheers to Dylan. All right. 198's not a bad number, pal. Let's see if we invite some friends here, Dylan. Maybe we hit the 200 on this episode and it'll be all Dylan's fault. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? You're that kind of person that can move mountains, Dylan. And once again, if we push up to 200 subscribers, well, that would be an amazing thing in of itself. But today we are talking about Iran. And of course, Iran has been a bad actor for a long period of time, folks. I mean, we're talking about back in 1979, the Iranians overthrew the Shah of Iran in 1979, had militant student protests, and the students, decent people, but of course behind that was some radical Islamists, and of course with that came a huge problem here. And of course here we are all these years later, almost like 50 years later. We're dealing with a very radical Iran, and Iran has not just been a problem to its own people because very repressive regime, but on top of that, I'm here to say, like without a doubt, that Iran is the #1 export. You think it's oil? It's not oil. Their #1 export from Iran is radical Islam, and that's something that we all should be really mindful of. And they're constantly fanning the flames. Dylan, all right, Dylan. You said hi again, and I'm going to give you another hello back. And all right, another subscriber. Drop your comments in here, and this is awesome. But we're talking about Iran, and of course, Iran really has been a troublemaker throughout the Middle East for a long period of time, a sworn enemy of Israel. Make no question about it. If it wasn't for Israel, it would only be somebody else. You can take that to the bank. And of course, they have problems with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, you name it. They have problems with everybody. And they do a lot of their dirty work through what's known as a proxy. And of course, a proxy really is somebody who's doing the dirty work of Iran, whether it's the Houthis, whether it's Hezbollah. You get the idea. There you are, Dylan. Thank you. They are really a pariah state, and they've been causing trouble for a long period of time. And of course, they've been working on nuclear weapons, and that's kind of scary stuff. Like, you know, we don't want, we can control the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. I think we're much better off. And of course, this is something we really do need to pay close attention to. Hold on, I'm getting another coffee. All right, Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. You are the man. And with that, folks, making sure that we're understanding that, well, Israel has been a country that's been fighting for its life since 1948, right? Like, Harry Truman was the first American president to recognize the state of Israel as an independent nation. And of course, that country has been... Dylan, thank you. You are amazing. I hope to see you back. I'll be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m., and I'd love to see you here too as well, pal. Thank you. And thank you for all your efforts here, bud. Hey, and bring the tribe next time. We'd love to have you join us. All right. Take care, pal. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to our story here with Iran once again. And, of course, we know that Iran really is a troublemaker. And, of course, they do export radical Islam, and they promote instability throughout the world. And, of course, what it really is some pretty darn radical leadership inside of that country. The Iranian culture, amazing. Iranian food, amazing. The Iranian people, amazing people, and a phenomenal, an amazing history inside of that country. So make sure there's no doubt about it. The problem isn't the Iranian people. The problem is the Iranian government. And of course, these folks the radicals that are running the operation there. It's a theocracy. Does anybody know what a theocracy is? Go ahead, drop it in the comments here, and I'll give you a moment here, because a theocracy really is kind of a crazy thought. Anybody here know what a theocracy is? Drop it into the comments. And once again, hit a like and a subscribe if you like the format of this live right from my YouTube studio in the basement. All right, I'll give you, the timer has gone off. A theocracy is a government that is controlled by religious principles. So there is no separation of church and state. For instance, inside of the United States, our Bill of Rights, the first thing it says that Congress shall establish no religion, nor prevent the free exercise thereof. In translation, that Congress will not have an official religion for the United States, and as a result, the United States will not be in the religious business. That's kind of the genius of this country. You know, we had some people stay with us. We're part of a soccer club, and our soccer club hosts missionaries from all over the planet. And one of the big things they asked us right away, this fellow was from Northern Ireland. He fires up the question, hey, how do you handle all the religious differences in the United States? And I said, the fact is that we respect everybody, and I do mean everybody. And my street was a classic example, folks. I mean, we have people from all over the place. We have Buddhists, we have people that are Hindus, we have people that are Catholic, we have people that aren't practicing whatsoever. And the fact is, that's the whole point. We are neighbors. We're all in this mess together, and we're not going to allow religion to really separate us. And I think that's kind of the genius of America. It's like one less thing to argue about. Where people are fussing in other parts of the world, well, that's one thing we decided we will not fuss about that here in the United States. And once again, if you're joining us late, folks, a like, a subscribe. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers. You might be that person that hits 200 today, and I will have a special place in my heart for 200 if one of you are number 200 today. And of course, with that, bring your friends if you believe they should be part of this live as well, because we are having fun. We'll be back here, believe it or not, 10 a.m. I've tried to pencil this in on my schedule on a daily basis, no matter what I'm doing, whether it is work, whether it is remote work, no matter what it is, I will take 10 o'clock out of my schedule, and I'm like, this is when I go live and talk to the people here on my channel and talk about the things that matter a ton. And once again, my name is Brian. Ozzy, you are back. That is amazing. I think the last time we talked was Ozzy from Florida or Ozzy from Texas. I can't remember which it is, but I'm pretty certain we were talking last Friday when we were outside live. Ozzy, you are amazing. Thank you very much for the subscribe. I'm glad to have you here. And Ozzy, we're talking about, well, today's subject was talking about Iran and, of course, some of the instability that's presented by Iran and New Hampshire. Holy cow, that's right. Well, hopefully you're not experiencing the same heat wave that the rest of the country is getting crushed with right now. But you'll notice I'm not on the front porch. I'm not even out in the park like I was last week. I am down here in my YouTube studio where I'm constantly creating content for people just like you, Ozzy. And of course, if there's any kind of a story you want me to talk about tomorrow, I will be happy to do so. Just drop it into the comments, because hey, listen, I'm trying to come up with content, but if you specifically ask me to cover a story, I will specifically be sure to go ahead. And so, 90, not too bad. That's depends on the humidity, Ozzy. If you're up in the mountains, well, you won't feel it too much. And of course, if you are out there, New Hampshire, there are some really, really humid areas there as well. Okay, so hey, God bless you, New Hampshire. I heard that it's a beautiful place to live, though. I hear nothing but positive things about New Hampshire. And of course, New Hampshire always makes the news with the New Hampshire primary, right? So, all right, fairly humid, yeah. Well, you know, just make sure you take care of yourself and your pets, of course, because I'm here. Not only am I watching our dog, and of course, we're watching another dog here as well. And I will say that we are watching the dog, and in reality, who's the dog watcher? Well, of course, it's going to be me, because I have 2 other people in the house right now working remote. And of course, they can't be bothered because they are busy working. And of course, that puts me right into the cycle of, well, somebody better take care of it. And you're the guy, Brian. So, hey, that's another thought. But hey, I'm about 20 minutes. All right. Okay, Ozzy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that information. And Ozzy, there's a Dylan Johnson we met today. There's an Ozzy today. And of course, I do shout outs and I respond to okay, Dover. I'm gonna go ahead and look that up where it is on the map because I've not spent a tremendous amount of time up in the New Hampshire area. I've been in New England a couple of times, but New Hampshire, I don't think I've ever made it that far north. I take that back. I've been all the way to Maine. I spent a couple weeks in Maine, and that was an extended period of time. A place called Searsport, Maine. Maybe you've heard of it, but I spent time there. And once again, if you're newer here to the channel, we're shooting for 200 subscribers today, right here on this cast, and maybe you can be number 200. I think I'm at 199 right now, and 200, of course, will hold a special place in my heart. Of course, Dylan's helped. We've had Ozzy help today. 200 makes a big difference, and of course, with that, we're going to be back here. Okay, I'm originally from Mineral. Okay, Maine. I got you. All right. Have you even heard of Searsport, Osby? Ozzy, have you heard of Searsport before? That's where I spent a summer as a young boy. My mother was taking care of an estate of her aunt and uncle that had passed, and that's what took me to Searsport, Maine. But lovely country, lovely people, and I'm here to say that just an amazing, amazing place. Hey, if you're joining me late here, today's topic of conversation was Iran, and of course, the instability that Iran causes in the Middle East. And of course, Iran is known for oil, but their number one export, believe it or not, is radical Islam. And okay, Bar Harbor, Maine, awesome. Iran exports radical Islam, and that is their number one export. And of course, they are a tremendous source of instability throughout the Middle East. And the Middle East really wants to catch up with the rest of the world. If you take a look at a place like Dubai, it is just a snapshot of what kind of things, amazing things that the Middle East can do. And of course, you have the instability factor of a place like Iran. Well, it kind of holds back progress. And of course, you never know what they're going to do. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see some positive changes here. Once again, I'm Brian here, and look, I've got 4 of you here right now, at least 4. And of course, my statistics are always late. I wind up having like 50 or 60 people that wind up joining me. But we're at 199 subscribers as of right now. One of you could be number 200, and that would be an amazing number to hit. If one of you can be the 200th subscriber here before we end this cast here in the next minute. I have been making a few comments about Iran, but I've been getting blocked. Okay, well, put it this way, Ozzy. Maybe, just maybe, we can, you know what? I've got the YouTube channel. I've got today's video and yesterday's video, both about Iran. And if you were to take a look at those, there will be plenty of opportunity to go ahead and make comments about those. And I promise you, I will respond to you in more detail on those if that's helpful. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, you have been absolutely awesome. I love going live and getting to work with people like Dylan and Ozzy, of course, and whoever else joins us here. This is a great, great format. I really appreciate the interactive mode. And you know what, darn it, I do hope that we can go ahead and get you guys on over to the economic report, because that really does make a big difference. And of course, it's where we do a little bit of a deeper dive into various news stories. And with that, Ozzy, you've been amazing. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for being part of this channel. And I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow once again. And if you subscribe, I'm able to dump a story into your inbox like every single day. That's what you can count on from me. And with that, this has been the Economic Report. I'm Brian, and today we covered Iran and, of course, the instability that Iran brings to the Middle East. And of course, Iran, oh, super amazing people, super amazing culture. And folks, let's face it, one thing that nobody really appreciates about Iran is, of course, well, let's face it, it's the radical Islam that is exported. And of course, it really shakes up and causes quite a bit of turbulence throughout the Middle East. And we're hoping for a more stable, steady, and economic partnership throughout that region, because that is an amazing country and amazing people there. And of course, the entire Middle East has some amazing, amazing people. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and round out this podcast or this live cast, and you are right from my basement. Hey, do you like the basement setup? Is there any recommendations you have? Go ahead, drop a comment here. And with that, hey, Vince, how are you? Good to see you, Vincent. I'm glad you joined me, even if it's a little bit late. And guess what? Late is better than never. You'll notice, Vince, I am here inside of the morning. I made a decision this morning. Really, really hot outside on the front porch. So what did we do? We went ahead and set up the morning studio live right here in my YouTube studio. And you go ahead and take a look around here. It's not too sophisticated, but we do have decent lighting, and I think it's good to look at if you're a viewer. And Vince, I don't know, if you are not subscribed, you could be number 200 right now if you were to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And with that, Vince, I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be covering the stories that are in the news. And if you have anything else that you want to talk about, I'd love to have you participating. You could. Do you know there's a war right now? There's a war going on, per se, with the United States hitting Iran's nuclear sites. And you don't know quite what they have. It works. Thank you, Ozzy, about the studio. If you have any ideas for improvements, go ahead. When you show up tomorrow, I'm always listening, and maybe your recommendation will be, Vince, don't be afraid. I'm here to say that, well, the way I look at the world here, Vince, number one, you're in the safest country in the world with the most powerful military in the world. And I would also say that, you know, at the end of the day, we can be afraid. I would say much more that, you know, I put the rest of everything else into God's hands, right? And that's just me, and that's my perspective. And I'm going to worry about the things I can control, and the things that I can't control 100%, I'm not going to worry about as much. It's just kind of how I roll. And with that, once again, I'm going to sign off here. I've been on for about 22 minutes. I would stay on for another hour if I could, but you know, the recommendation is, of course, that I'm not on more than 15 to 20 minutes. So, hey, Vince, I hope to see you back. Ozzy, great to see you again. Vince, great to see you again. And of course, we picked up a few more people here today. I really enjoy this. And hey, remember, folks, if I could share one thing with you, I want to remind you at the end of every video, at the end of every single live, I'm here to tell you that the biggest battle we fight is the one between our ears. Like, without a doubt, over our thoughts, our actions, and our attitude is controlled by what's going on between our ears. And if there's one thing I could say to any one of you listening to today's cast, of course, I want to remind you, take care of yourself. Your health really matters, and it's the one thing that affects everything else. And maybe one of the most important things folks can do is get a good night's sleep. Until then, I'll catch you tomorrow. You are amazing, and don't forget to be awesome today. Have a great day.